Good afternoon, Natasha. Tell us what's happening where you are.
Well, good afternoon, Nompu, and of course, to our SABC viewers. Of course, those ballot papers need to be printed out. Remember, there was that nomination of Togo Didiza as a speaker. She also accepted that nomination. There's also that nomination of Veronica Mente of the EFF, and of course, she accepted the nomination. Now we're actually at on break. Those two names need to be printed on a ballot where members of parliament could actually vote. We're actually joined by the ATM President, Mr. Violet Zungula, and of course, he had actually nominated Veronica Mente of the EFF as Speaker. Do you think you have the numbers?
Yeah, there are 400 members of parliament who could be persuaded to vote for a speaker that is coming from the opposition, because for the longest time, what has led Parliament to be ineffective in its oversight function, it is that Parliament was presided over by a speaker from the ANC, a same speaker who is junior in terms of political party to the executive of the ANC, and therefore could not play an effective oversight role over the executive. However, once you've got a speaker that is coming from the opposition, who is not bound by the decisions of the ruling party, then it means that speaker will play an effective oversight role over the executive, which means then what we are going to have, we're going to have an effective parliament. For the longest time, even in the Zondo Commission of Inquiry, parliament has been lambasted for being weak or ineffective when it comes to its oversight function, particularly because parliament and the executive are the same thing, because the people that preside over the executive and parliament are coming from the same party.
While you were inside, and of course you probably saw this on social media, the ANC and the DA somewhat reaching agreements in forms of a coalition or GNU with, of course, the IFP and the Patriotic Alliance. Where does this leave you? I know that you actually formed part of those 6 political parties that had said you want to engage the ANC more on this issue. Of course, the ANC also didn't come back to you when you requested to meet them at 8 a.m. this morning.
There was a commitment by the president of ANC to say because they got 40%, they are thinking the best model to take the country forward now is a model of a government of national unity. Now, as the word states, government of national unity, it means it must comprise of all people from the elected political parties. There's 18 of those parties in parliament. The impression that people have out there is that there's a government of national unity which should be inclusive to all parties. But what is practically decided, that there's a coalition between the ANC and the DA. So what we are standing here to say, as the ATM, that number one, there's no GNU in our country, there's a coalition. Number two, all of these parties that we met, they are not saying we want positions, because it's not about positions, but it's about the principle of saying, do not go to the public and say GNU, but you come back to parliament and have a coalition. Go to the public and say, as the ANC, we're in a coalition with the DA, simple, but do not mislead the public. So that is why we felt it's important to clarify these things, so that even when we're electing presiding officers and presidents here, the citizens can know there's a coalition of the ANC and the DA.
Moving back to the business of the day, so in terms of the deputy speaker, who will you be nominating? We know that in terms of the agreement between the DA and the ANC, they've had their own, speaker, deputy speaker. Who will you be nominating?
Yeah, see, on that one, you need to keep watching, because there's going to be a nomination.
Just let our viewers know, please.
You know, there'll be people nominated for the deputy speaker and the president, but the viewers must keep on watching so that they can see the events unfold of this new coalition of the ANC and the DA in this country.
And what's also concerning is that you got the framework very late from the ANC.
Which shows that the ANC was never genuinely interested in having a government of national unity. Because we can't send, in fact, we sent to Al-Jama one party this morning. The other 17 or 18 other political parties were not informed about this framework of government of national unity, which clearly shows that the ANC is misleading people. And that's why it's important for us to protest or to make our mark, so that people can know that we don't have a government of national unity, we just have a coalition, but the ANC is misleading people.
Okay, Mr. Zungula, I guess it's going to be a very long day here in Cape Town at the convention center, as he says that viewers of the